Hello YouTube, it's Grace again, and today I thought I'd do a quick video about my sort of interest in history. I guess I'm going to title this video. This is actually going to be completely unscripted, it's just going to come to mind and I'll just talk because, yeah. So, I know some people were curious about this, so my sort of specialities in history. After my video about my modules, so I thought I'd just go through my sort of interests in history. So to begin with, let's start with the period that I like to study. So my period is very early modern, so I like basically like 1400 to about 1800. That's my sort of ideal period, although I do like the Victorian age as well, which is in the 19th century. So that is the 1800s, right up to about 1901, I think it is. Yeah, so I'm not a modern historian in any stretch of the imagination because I generally dislike learning about the wars, and they just keep doing it at school and it just gets so annoying. So I'm definitely not a modern historian. I'm not a classical historian either, so I'm not a huge fan of like Romans. I don't mind a few bits of Greek or a bit of Roman or a bit of Byzantians, which is like beginning of the medieval age, but I'm not, again, a huge fan because I find it doesn't interest me as much as the early modern period. Yeah. So if we were to explain Middle Ages as well, again, I'm not a huge fan of it. So this is about the year 1000 to about the year 1300. So yeah, I'm not hugely that fan. I think that's because I took a module last year about early medieval Europe, or was it early medieval England? I think it was early medieval England, and it was so boring. Oh, I actually fell asleep during some of my lectures there. I shouldn't admit that on camera, but I did. Oh god, it was horrible. So that really put me off that bit of history, especially finding out that a lot of that history is relied on one sort of source, which is Bede, and Bede is completely a dry historical source to me. I can't read his works. It just bores me to tears and bores me to death. Yeah. It really bothers me that much. Okay, so yeah, now we'll talk about my sort of period. So I've done a lot of work about England in this period. So I am primarily an English historian about it, but I do enjoy going into bits about Europe. In particular, my speciality, I feel, is that I really enjoy learning about the courts in England and in Europe. So I'm actually currently taking a module about Renaissance courts, so this really feeds into my speciality. Yeah, sorry, I have to gaze at my phone as well to check time because I'm filming this before I actually have to go to work, so yeah. I've got to keep ahead on the time, because I could talk about this for ages. So yeah, I really do enjoy the Renaissance courts and the Renaissance age in general, although Renaissance is such a liberal term to use, I guess, because there are so many different Renaissances really at different points in time. So I'll just call it early modern age. So I do enjoy the courts in the early modern age. I also am a social historian, which means I like to study society or the people as a whole. So I like looking at like professions and their day-to-day lives, I guess. I find it interesting, like, to look at like the different situations that people were in, how they had to live, which is why I think in particular Ruth Goodman is a really good historian for me, because I really like watching her documentaries where she's with Alex Langlands, I think it is, and they reenact basically and live the lives of the particular time periods. So for example, there is one where they prepare a Tudor feast. So they actually have to spend all those days making all the food, and then they actually have the trial run of the entire feast, and you really get to see it, and I think it's really cool. So yeah, I'm a social historian as well. But I think my real passion is like with monarchy. I love learning about the monarchy. Like, it's so sensational at times that it's funny, and I just really enjoy how like the monarch is the centre of the entire part of power. Well, in England up until Charles I when he was or in France until Louis XVI. I mean, I'm not going to count Louis the I think it's 18th. I'm not going to count him because he wasn't on the throne that long, and to be honest, he wasn't really a monarch. So yeah, let's just say Louis XVI. That's when monarchy died in France. Yeah. So I really do enjoy court life and the interaction between the monarchs. I'm not an environmental historian at all. I should just throw this out there because I have a lecturer who's actually a climate historian and environmental historian, and I'm just not interested at all. I respect that we need to be kinder to the environment, but I'm not a historian for it, to be honest. It doesn't interest me at all. Yeah. So let's talk about history I want to develop more knowledge about, so perhaps like maybe it will become part of my speciality. So I do a lot to do with European monarchy, European courts. What I'd really like to learn about is the courts of like China and like Asia, so India, the Ottoman courts, for example. Yeah, despite the fact that they have a lot of harems, but yeah, I think it would be an interesting thing to learn about, and to learn about the different culture and how different it was in comparison to a European court. Yeah, I'd also like to learn a bit about Russian history, because I do like learning about the Russian Revolution, and although that is very modern, like by comparison to what I've been talking about, because it's like early 20th century was when the revolution was. Yeah, I find it interesting to learn about because it is again involving the monarchy, so recurring theme right here. And I also like looking at like the earlier culture, so for example Peter the Great, where he founded St. Petersburg, or Catherine the Great and her involvement in Europe as a really strong and powerful woman monarch. Other parts of history I would like to learn about. As I said, this is unscripted, so that's why I'm taking quite a while to think. I would really like to know about like Norway and sort of like Denmark, Sweden, Bulgaria. So countries on the other side of Europe, like I'd really want to learn a bit more about, because as part of my course and what we're taught, we've been talking a lot about the English, Scottish, French, Spanish, Germanic, Holy Roman Empire, briefly on the Ottoman courts, so I'd really want a comparison to those other courts and other places that I named, because I think that it would be very, very interesting. But yeah, so I can't really think of much else to say, so I thought I'd just quickly say why I'm making this video. So I'm not only making this video for your benefit, for those people who requested it, but I'm also being selfish in the fact that I want to I wanted to make this video for ideas for my dissertation, because I'm supposed to actually be thinking about my dissertation now. Yes, it's scary, it's incredibly scary. I don't even want to think about my dissertation, but I have to think of a sort of topic I want to talk about, and yeah, hopefully this video will give me some ideas. But I really don't know. Oh, I'm having a crisis. I'm just glad that I narrowed down the sort of history that I'm interested in, but it's now to narrow down the topic that I write about, something which I'll find interesting. Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. But yeah, let me know down below if you do history, if you have any interest in history, or if you have another topic. For example, if you take English literature, what sort of modules or what sort of literature do you enjoy? So for example, do you like romance literature, or like from the romantic authors? So do you like classics like Jane Austen? Do you like, just basically let me know down below if you have any particularly strong interest in maybe the subject area that you're taking at school, at university, or if you were at school or university, what sort of things were you more interested in? So yeah, let me know down below. I may be posting another video along with this because I'm actually going home for like the first time today after work, so I'm probably going to get my fairy loot box, so maybe I'll have to unbox it on camera. And yeah, so that's why the September fairy loot will be very late. Yep, I apologise, but I haven't been home to receive it, so yeah. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in another video very soon. So goodbye.